Hey everybody, it is Kai here at the Thrifting Channel, and today I am back with another video talking about films, fashion in films, and how that will influence my purchases when I go to the bins or the thrift store to resell on Poshmark and Mercari. Ah, that's a mouthful. That's what today's video is about. So my previous video, I talked a bit about, actually my very first one on this topic of fashion and films. I talked about the Batman that's coming out soon. And I specifically spoke about um, the Catwoman character and the cat suits and things of that nature. What I do want to also let you know is that there are makeup palettes out there for the Batman. I'm not sure who made them. It's not MAC or anything like that, but keep your eyes out for anything like that in some of the discount places that you go or on sale. Excuse me, because those things tend to do well if you're into doing makeup, sealed, of course. And also, I mean, I know people sell makeup that's been um, used or whatever, but I in my tiny bit of makeup venture adventures, I've only sold sealed. So today, though, I want to go back because we're talking about two movies that are already out in cinemas right now, and I do think that they will have an influence on what's coming up for spring and summer, fashion-wise. Now, the first one I'm going to look at will be, should we do Death on the Nile first, or should we do Uncharted? I know I have listed Uncharted first, but I'm going to go into Uncharted and we're going to look at just briefly what the characters in the film are wearing. So, if we're looking at just the main character of Nathan Drake, played by um, Tom Holland of Spider-Man, No Way Home and Homecoming, and Far From Home fame, then we're really looking at something very similar to what the character in the original Uncharted video game wore, which would be a khaki cargo pant, a white Henley, and it looks like there's a t-shirt underneath that Henley. And I'm guessing, because I never played Uncharted, that there is some sort of leather backpack or satchel that the character wears. He's also wearing a sports watch, um, probably, for all the athletic stuff that he does in the film and the game, of course. And it looks like the character from the film, I'm sorry, the video game also wore the watch. So um, keep your eyes out for that particular look. Um, when you're out looking for things to thrift, if you run across a couple of Henleys or some nice cargo pants, and I'm really talking about something in like an upper range of brand, not something that would be so common, then I would grab them. Um, Also, with the Sully character played by Mark Wahlberg, there's a couple of scenes in there where they are dressed up and they have like suits. I know there's a scene, I haven't seen the movie yet, so I plan on seeing it today, later. But they have um, there's a scene I remember in the trailer where Nathan Drake is wearing a black, very nice button down. He's a bartender, but the button down and the contrast with his hair color looked really good. So a black button down, definitely would want to grab one of those. Again, not in a casual style. I would grab one that's extremely, if you find it, a very good brand, upper brand to resell. So also, I know that there's a scene in the movie where they are again wearing the suits and there's a tuxedo. Um, I don't know if you are into tuxedos or if you have that kind of menswear in your closets, but I personally would steer away from that. I would probably get the bow tie, but not the tuxedo because, I mean, unless they were a really good brand and you know how those would sell for you, I would leave that money on the table for me because I would hate to make the mistake of getting the wrong one and being stuck with it. So unless you're well versed in that, um, in the tuxedo arena, yeah, grab it if you know what you're doing. For me, I wouldn't. So, but I definitely would look for those Henleys in like a lighter, like a cream color or white if it's not damaged, um, in a higher brand, not something that could be, found at Target or something like that. And definitely look out for the cargo pants, um, because I do believe that stuff will be popular for spring. Not really sure what boots they're wearing in their adventures, but I'm quite sure that you might want to look out for those two to keep around in your closets and in your listings. Okay, I'm not going to go into the women's fashions and Uncharted. They're kind of um, one character to me is wearing kind of like club wear. It's like a white t-shirt with a something stretched with holes in it over the t-shirt, and to me it just looks very club wearish, not anything that someone would specifically go out to look for to buy to wear. I'm sure there will be a lot of cosplay because this particular character has very unique hair, so the hair is something a person can choose to do, but the clothing is not particularly unique. Now I'm going to move on to Death on the Nile. And that main character, um, being played, or one of the main characters being played by Gal Gadot, and you look at the trailer, the entire film is just glamour upon glamour upon glamour. I'm looking here at the poster for the film, and we're talking a lot of retro styled dresses, um, some very slender with a flare at the bottom. Um, Sleeving, we have like puff sleeves. The colors are kind of, we have like a crystal blue and some silver tones on Letitia Wright's dress. And then there's a character that's wearing a red dress with a very Marilyn Monroe-esque kind of bodycon shape and puffing puff on the sleeves. And then there's another character. I mean, these are all fitting with the time that this particular film is set in. But what I'm thinking is that when we come upon, um, weddings and events that will be held in spring and summer, that this film might influence some of those fashions that people choose to wear. Gal Gadot wears a lot of flowy things in this movie. I've not seen the film yet, so I'm strictly going on what I'm finding online. In very pastel tones, beiges, um, taupe, there's peach, but these are all very, very pale. The men are wearing um, tuxedos in like a cream off-white color for the most part. And they're also wearing what looks to be like tweed, um, with ties and things of that nature. But for this one though, I am gonna stick to the women and their clothing. Um, so yeah, there's some really um, most of the dresses are fitted, and they are definitely have a retro appeal about them. So when you are out thrifting, you might want to, um, if you run across any. And again, I want to stress that I'm talking about upper brand of dresses, not something that you can just randomly find at, a fast fashion store or something like that. Something that might be a little bit more unique and hard to come by, that people might be looking for. So I know you probably have an opportunity to go and do some research on what brands sell, and you within that you can find these particular styles. So that is kind of my take on looking at fashion in films that might be coming up for spring and for summer with the films Uncharted and Death on the Nile. Take a look at your um, inventory right now. If you have anything right now that would fit either of those categories, whether it be the men's wear in Uncharted or the women's wear, the glamour wear in Death on the Nile. Also, with Death on the Nile, I want to just toss this in there. There's some really unique hair pieces and barrettes that you could also, if you run across them in your thrifting adventures, you could grab those and put them up. Uh, and I would definitely mention that if you are putting them up because you see these things in Death on the Nile, I would say that you were inspired to put these up because of Death on the Nile and the style in that particular film. All right, so I hope that that helps you. I hope that you enjoy, if you go to these movies, enjoy them. I hope to enjoy Uncharted later, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much for listening. And again, I hope these ideas help you out when you're out there in the wild. Take care. Bye bye.